Okay, so we are learning about the coordinate plane, but we're reviewing because you've learned this before. Because we're going to be graphing and doing actual translations this week. So we need to understand how to plot points and how to label points. So the first thing you want to do, and you're writing this down on your paper, if you have graph paper, great. Otherwise, if it's lined paper or even blank paper, go ahead and draw your two axes, okay? So the first thing you do when you draw your coordinate plane is you get everything labeled. So your lines need to have arrows because lines go on forever, okay? So make sure you have arrows. Then you number it. Mine is already numbered. Label each axis. So this is the x-axis, the horizontal one, and the vertical one is the y-axis. Okay, so if you have to pause to get everything labeled, go ahead and pause here. Next, you're going to label your origin. So this point where the two axes meet, this is called the origin, the point 0, 0. Okay, and then finally, we label each quadrant. Quad means 4. This is split up into 4 parts, and each part is called a quadrant. And we label them with Roman numerals. So this is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 down here. And finally, quadrant 4. So it goes counterclockwise, the way we number the quadrants. Now, we're going to describe what the points look like in each quadrant. And it might not make sense now, but it will in a moment. So in quadrant 1, it's just x, y, meaning both the x and the y are positive. In quadrant 2, it's a negative x, but a positive y. In quadrant 3, both x and y are negative. And quadrant 4 is a positive x and a negative y. So let me give you an example of what that means in case the letters are confusing. So if I wanted to know where the point 2, 3 would be, well, 2, 3 are both positive, so this point is in quadrant 1. But the point negative 2, 3 has a negative x and a positive y, so it's in quadrant 2. Quadrant 3, both my x and my y would need to be negative, so this point would be in quadrant 3. And then quadrant 4, the x is positive, but the y is negative. So these were the examples. Okay, so now I know where my origin is. I know where my x-axis and my y-axis, where they are. I know where each of my quadrants is, and I could give you an example of a point in each quadrant. I know there's a lot of information on this slide, but on the next slide, you're going to try on your own, okay? You're just going to label everything. So you're going to label the x-axis, the y-axis, the 4 quadrants, and your origin, okay? You don't need to give me example points. Just get everything labeled and know where everything is.